And I've got the scores wrong, so go ahead and start this off for me if you don't mind.
Okay, in the bottom right-hand corner of the beautiful beachy Belshire vestige, we have Blue Zerg Quantix Hyun.
And his opponent, down 2 in this best of 5. It's not a fun spot to be in. It's the Red Terran player playing for Clarity Gaming. It is Shuttle. But yeah, I don't know, like, it's one thing to be down 2-0, and I think most players, like, it's funny, I always listen to the casters psychoanalyze players, and I'm like, they're just filling time. And I'll tell you right now, it's exactly what I'm doing. But I'm going to say something completely different, where a lot of players in this situation, it'd be encouraged to play defensive. You'd be like, okay, I'm back down, I can't afford to lose, but Shuttle's the type of player who I don't think this is really affected by the state of where he is. Like, he's going to play hard, fast, and strong, regardless of whether he's down 2 or whether he's up 2.
Yeah, and that's a great player strength to have, to not be kind of rattled by the events of the previous games and just go ahead with your plan. And I mean, he's obviously not shocked to be in this position either, because I mean, when you do proxy 11-11 racks, you're taking a huge risk, and a player like Hyun is quite likely to actually catch you out, and he did. So perhaps he still has something planned for this match.
I think it's cute too. Hyun's not someone in the past who's often been keen to drone scouting, but we've seen him do it every game so far.
Yeah, nice to be safe. How did the maps work in this tournament? I can't remember. Is loser picks, or they preset, or?
It's not loser's pick. They veto till there's X amount left, and they play it in an order. So, Belshire Vestige was coming up number 3, regardless of who, what, when, or where. But Reaper's opening out a Shuttle finally. Going to be playing a little more standard, close to the cuff, whatever. Sorry, not the production tab up. The question I have to follow this is how much Reapers will be applied, because Hyun, we've seen him going full first. He doesn't have, most games I should say, he won't hatch first this game, but he doesn't have gas, and he's often waited a little bit to get gas, and without speed, without metabolic boost, you actually cannot effectively shut down Reapers unless the person in control of the Reapers is, I don't know, stupid.
Yeah, well, Reapers tend to arrive when the Queen is about halfway done, so you only have to micro your drones for a little bit, kind of hardcore, to try and not lose anything until the Queens are out, and then you can kind of position them so that you zone the Reapers out of doing any damage, getting any drone kills. So you should be fine. I mean, someone of Hyun's caliber will be able to micro effectively, hopefully, against Reapers. And I mean, the Reaper's staying at home to whack this extractor, so he'll have plenty to deal with it by the time the Reaper actually goes to scout.
I'm surprised he's being distracted by this as well. He doesn't, unless he's planning to go for like super mech, he doesn't need this gas that badly. This Reaper should not be wasting his time at home. Shuttle should be in the face of Hyun right now, doing as much harass as possible, because speed is so far off. But we got some Zerglings coming across the map, slowly marching.
And they're going to be able to deny that lower base because nothing's outside. The drone is only just now going to get killed, but still, there's plenty of time for the Zerglings to actually be able to take out that SCV. And, the Reaper may actually not even see these Lings. They're sneaking around the long way.
Yeah, it's not looking too good. I mean, already the opening, just the way things have been going with that gas steal, I really feel kind of caught Shuttle off guard. He's been scouted, Hyun sees, like, okay, there's... Actually, I think he saw that there's no bunker at the natural, too. Yeah, he's put his Overlord there, so... The bunker's now coming down, but it's very late. And the Reaper's time to do damage, I feel, has long past expired. I mean, Metabolic Boost is already nearly halfway complete. Actually, it's over halfway complete. The Reaper's just going to be for scouting at this point. And it's a little unfortunate when you take an effective unit, you take it from, like, harass to just plain scouting, but...
Well, in the meantime, yeah. Not quite able to do too much, didn't get the deny or anything. But, they got in there, they were annoying. The Winter Mine's out now, that is shut down. And really all that's left is that Reaper that can swing in and out of the bases as long as he's careful with it. And see what's going on. Speed just finishing up now, though, so he does have to be super careful.
Yeah, I did see someone ask in chat to confirm, yes, Clarity Gaming Shuttle was also known as Mental King, one of the players who decided to rebrand himself under a different name. So if you're curious, like, is this the same guy? Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, he is still actually called Mental King under the brackets, too. So, alright.
Speaking of players with multiple names, I was currently giving Happy Zerg aka FXO Slavic, aka Happy
Oh yeah.
aka Navi Happy Zergling. I'm like, dude, stop making your name longer. This is getting absurd. Like, you go from Slavic to FXO Slavic to Happy Zerg to Happy Zergling, and it's like all of a sudden you can't even fit on name bars anymore. But
Oh, poor Reaper. He gets taken out.
well, that
But yeah,
early
that's
Viking should be able to start cleaning up the map here.
hmm
I can't say that to Shuttle's. It's Belshire, it's different here. The two watchtowers in the middle of the map provide most of the vision. Overlord's definitely great to pick off, but they're not the necessity that they are in, say, Daybreak or most other maps.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna pick off this one already, which is good for him. That way, nothing can pop out of his base and be seen immediately. And we've got Hyun going for the same unit composition once again. Roachling. In fact, I'm pretty sure he was one of the guys that used Roachling even back in Wings of Liberty, so he's very much sticking to his guns.
You know, the same way that Reapers are synonymous with Fuser, Roaches are very synonymous with Hyun. That's pretty much
Yeah.
what it comes down to, regardless of what stage of the game you were ever at.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like he's poking in here, trying to see if he can do any damage, baiting those Widowmine hits, and just picking away at that wall because, I mean, the engineering
This
base is there, so he can get him.
This is actually kind of cool that he decided to put the engineering base up here. A, it's a little risky because you can lose the important tech research, but it's also a much sturdier wall than, say, having just supply depots, but looks like it's not going to matter. It does cancel. And there's a lot of roaches here that he just can't afford to fight. Nice Widowmine hit. I don't know how that went off. Like,
Yeah, just barely caught it, I think. But yeah, he does have to get out of there because eventually those three Widow Mines will chip away. Marauder's popped out now too, having been alerted of that roach composition. With the Ling's medevacs out, so he may go for a push. Again, very much like we saw in the last, well, not last game, game before that, game one, where he drops Widow Mines and pushes with a Bio Army at the same time, perhaps with even more Widow Mines, or stagger those a little bit. But yeah, same kind of deal for Shuttle, and that seems to me like this is his standard play. This is just what he falls back on pretty much every game.
well, it works nicely too, because I mean, you're relying a lot on your opponent not have defense, but we start seeing the evolution of now players like Hyun, PLO, etc. They have one spine, one spore in most bases almost every single game, and Shuttle, yeah, you could pick off a couple workers, but it'd be very difficult to do that with just two Widow Mines.
Yeah, sure. And if you try and force the issue, you also kind of run the risk of losing your medevac and the Widow Mines, and it's kind of like, well, that wasn't really worth it for a couple of drones. But Hyun is going for the Baneling Nest and Mutas, so it's going to be a Muta Roachling play, perhaps. I don't know, kind of a funky mix. But we do have the push coming out for Shuttle now, and he does actually have the opportunity to kind of space these Widow Mines out and give himself a nice path with which to retreat through.
Well, Hyun is just going to take some pressure here. The fourth base does get canceled, sadly, but he's sitting so happily on three bases. I mean, this is Hyun's, like, Zen garden, so
Yeah.
to speak. Instead of raking a bunch of sand in a little box, he's just spreading creep across the map in StarCraft. But Banelings are out, Zerglings are here.
Mutas, well, Spy is finished. Mutas will probably come out after this fight. Widow Mine's taken out and baited very well thus far in this game. One's left.
Some great kiting, though, over those Widow Mines does reduce these Roach
Yeah.
numbers, and the Marauders are more than enough to dispatch this. The question
Perfectly
is,
done by Shuttle.
yeah, these Marauders, they can't take on the Spine Caller, they can't take on the Queens. I mean, it's a great fight, but he's forced to pick up and go home, and ooh, even saves the Widow Mines. Very
Very
nice.
He's really
Jinx.
gotten the most out of these units.
You owe me a Coke.
Fine, when I come visit one day.
Yeah, when you come from Australia, just to casually hang out in Canada, but commands are being lifted. Commands that are being lifted here, and Shuttle is being forced to just, his econ is really going to suffer from this. I mean, he can expand to the west, or sorry, to the east. He's got that Overlord with creep drop and everything here. This base is going to be burrow denied for a little bit.
Yep. And it's also a really obvious place for Hyun to attack, so he kind of has to keep his army there, but at the same time Hyun could just go like, well fine, I'm going to swing around the other way and try and sneak into your natural while your supply depots are down. That's another possibility for him. And we
Well,
do have
the
Shuttle
medevac.
moving out once again.
Oh, it gets caught by this Mutilus just barely. Can't even unload. Everything will die. Trying to boost out. Drop the Widow Mine at least. No.
Damn, down it goes.
Valiant effort to try and get into the vein, but the follow-up here might be enough to dispatch with a small group of units. But, oh, Shuttle actually choosing to go a different direction. I love this, though. The spread of those Widow Mines allows him to kite back over top of it if necessary.
Yep. Absolutely. Oh, wow. Actually
Ooh.
gets a better hit off than I
Nasty
expected
hits. 17 more Banelings on the way. You know what? This is kind of funny. I think Hyun started his Wings of Liberty career being very well known for Banelings, and then transitioned to being very well known for Roaches. And I can't tell you how happy it is for me to see him using both.
there. Yeah. Well, he's
Man.
making it work, that's for sure. Tried to bait out the Widowmine hits there, but it didn't work out. So if he goes up in here, he's actually running the risk of taking huge hits from the Widowmines. And they didn't do too much, but the bio should actually be able to clean this up.
Man, oh man, there's just so many Banelings, but they're so far away. Unfortunately,
Oh my god, what are the Mutas doing? They're fighting
suiciding.
Marines.
You don't fight Marines and Mutilis. That is just rule number 1 of StarCraft. And Hyun should know this of all people. And actually, going to find himself hard pressed to deal with this. These drops just causing a little more damage than they should. This medevac with 2 health. Actually, wow, I can't believe that's enough range in that cliff to shoot downwards. But meanwhile, Shuttle pushing on the left side of the map. He's trying to buy himself back into the series, guys, and he's doing it with brute force.
Shuttle is doing a fantastic job there, even on supply, even on bases. He's done such a fantastic job of continually denying these 4th bases for Hyun, and these are the bases that are tricky to get a hold of as well. So that's really all he needs to do, because then he just keeps expanding himself, and suddenly the Zerg doesn't have what he needs.
Oh, some
to be able to
decent
take
hits
down
going off on these Widow Mines, but oh my god, how did he get that many units? Gets most of the Banelings and almost all of the Zerglings. That was the money Widow Mine hit that he needed so desperately. And now he knows he can take this small force, I mean a small split. This is no longer a desperate situation.
Ouch, oh my gosh. That hurt a lot. He needs to do something. He's got to run him around, buy some time to get what he needs back. Drilling Claws plus re-attack on the way for Shuttle. He's just going to get so much more scary.
Oh, and these Widow Mines are going to zone this out. Nice hit again with that Widow Mine. Only Banelings remaining. This is not looking good for Hyun, but he's going to move out on the left side of the map, try and push into this base, which has no defense whatsoever. However, Hyun's own 4th is also under a bit of trouble. Marines are just pushing forward, and look at that pre-spread, expecting some sort of Banelings, not realizing that they are on the offensive. This bunker being focused down by the Banelings, but nothing was inside the... Oh, the SCV is getting demolished, and these Marines will hold. Hyun, meanwhile... I mean, what is he? This 3rd base location has got a lot of Banelings here waiting. There we go. Hyun going to move out, try and come into the natural, but there are Widow Mines here.
Ling's bait, the first few hits. Is there one left? No, it's not barred. The Widow Mine's on barred. He's not able to take out those Banelings, but in the meantime, the natural is another story, but there seems to be just enough here for Hyun to defend. I don't know how he's doing this.
It's just the beauty of Banelings, is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I mean, Shuttle has lost so much behind this. Hyun's losing a lot of actual physical battle units, but Shuttle's losing bases, he's losing economy, he's losing workers. This orbital may just burn down.
Oh wow. Losing Widow Mines even, so that's all stuff that he has to remake. 26 Lings on the way, some more mutas too, and burrowing under there to deny it further.
This is the thing, Hyun is effectively forcing Shuttle to play off 2 base, and it's not looking too good for Shuttle, because again, he's doing so much actual army damage, but he's not doing economic damage, so Hyun can afford to just remake these Zerglings and Banelings over and over and over. The command center will not burn, but it will not land.
Yeah, 34 workers killed. We're talking about half the workers for Shuttle now, compared to Hyun.
More workers killed than currently exist on the field.
Yeah.
That's not a good feeling.
Tells a pretty bad story for Shuttle, although Shuttle's done a pretty good job. I mean, it's not easy to micro on like 3 fronts while Zerg's coming at you. And this will get cleaned up too. He's on Hive Tech. Does he have an Ultra Dan or anything? It doesn't look like it. So he's just stuck on this sort of lair tech units for the time being. He's going to have to take out yet another army. No other drops going on right now, I don't think.
Yeah, as long as the drops cease, Hyun's gonna look fine taking somebody list, being sacrificed to these Marines. I feel so much like early on, if he didn't waste those Mutilis, this would not be the same game that it is right now. But Shuttle find himself with just I don't think this force can deal with this. He needs to go back home and build up, or drop separately, but this base is going to get knocked down by the Banelings. Command Center does fall, and Shuttle once again thrown back to 2 bases of economy.
Now up to 41 workers killed after a couple of Banelings that were actually buried behind the mineral line in the 3rd base. Went in and detonated on some more of those as well. And Hyun's got a pretty scary position right here. There's no real way I'm seeing Shuttle doing actual damage while this army exists. Plus Ultras are now able to be made. He's finished up the Ultra Den. It's only a matter of time until he has the bank to churn a few of those out.
Actually, the funny thing is this has been a low supply game. I don't think either player's really been above 150 for the majority of this game, so this has been a lot of trading. I mean, a lot of trading going on back and forth. And Shuttle, he's playing so hard right now. Again, we talked about the mentality thing earlier, but it's got to be resonating with him. Like, I can't afford to lose this or I'll be out. So he's playing very well. He's playing very, very well for the amount of pressure that's definitely on him.
Yeah, he sure is. And the other cool thing for him is that he has the upgrade advantage. 3-3 isn't even on the way for Hyun right now. And +3 armor is about to be done for Shuttle. +3 attack already done. So, you know, 3-3 bio, it's terrifying, especially if he has that lead for a long time. Ultras aren't even being made yet because they need the chitinous plating. So he still has a chance here to nail some... Put some nails in Hyun's coffin before it's too late.
Well, these Queens can be focused down by these Marines. Does get one of them. The macro hatchery now can be without larva, but Shuttle, these little pokes. I just don't understand why he hasn't taken the top right corner of the map at this point. He could have cleared out that Overlord forever. Like I said, 2 Marines just hanging out. It kills me because he's on 1 base. His main is mined out. This is 1 base Shuttle trying to come back. And if he can win this game, guys, what a crazy upset that will be, but it's not looking good, because the longer he waits, as you said, Ultralisks will be out. Well, we've got this massive army of so many Zerglings. I hate looking at the wings on these Zerglings. It looks so stupid, but so many Zerglings, so many Banelings. Actually, look at the actual count, 26 and 128.
Yeah,
this is
128. Oh my gosh, that's so much. He's even got Burrowed Banes coming down now. Under the creep. You can't even see them under the creep. Oh my gosh. That's so sneaky.
Well, small amounts of Marines do what they can. Widowmines unfortunately do get taken out by the unfortunate explosive damage that the Banelings do cause upon death.
Yeah, but he's rolling on in here. The bio is doing the best that it can with its 3-3 upgrade. It's not doing a bad job all considered. Mutas have taken a beating.
Meanwhile, though, oh, nice Widowmine hits. Going to connect with so many of those Zerglings, but there's still so much behind this. It's the denial of this base Hyun needs to focus on. It's not about killing the army. Nice burrow. He does force a scan and stops that army.
Well, the Mutas are gone and the Overseers are gone, so he kind of has to pull out of there right now.
Oh
or
no!
He risks
again with the burrow circling. Hyun is being so. He's so mean, Zepph. He's so mean.
He is. He's very mean. And he's being very mean without even having ultras. He's getting 3-3, and I think once that's getting, yeah, here we go. We finally got some ultras in the production tab. And he has enough, I feel, to where by this sort of thing with the running around the map, he can counterattack and kind of put pressure on the 3rd base at the same time, because Shuttle really, really, really needs that base. He cannot afford to lose it once again, because if he does, I'm pretty sure he'll just tap out the GG.
Well, Shuttle actually going to get in here, do a nice little run by, but will it be enough? Because at home, he's going to hold, no question about it. Hyun does not have enough Zerglings. Actually, oh, if you can get past these Marines, never mind. But Shuttle, he did a nice little run by, picked off some more workers at this point, but again, this is 1 base, barely, this is not even 1 base, this is 1 base and 3 mineral patch Shuttle versus Hyun, who's on 4 bases quite comfortably.
This is a picture of desperation. That's for sure. More burrowed Banelings, not that they really...
But you know what? Hyun's actually got these clumsy-ass Ultralisks that can't quite get through anything. I mean, they're eating a lot of the Widowmine hits. They're getting transfused like crazy, actually, and doing a ton of damage to these Marines. Nice Baneling hit! Just barely sneaking in there. That Baneling,
delicious.
I didn't even see it, to be honest. I just saw the explosion. And but look at this coming from both sides. Hyun's like, alright, you know what? That's it. No more SCVs, no workers for you. This base, again, going to be forced to lift or get killed.
Up it goes.
SCVs surrounding the Ultralisk! What is happening?
Widowmines will finish that one off. Down it goes.
Oh, but even so, Widowmines don't do that much damage to these Ultralisks. I think Penguin said earlier, you need 5 Widowmine hits to kill an Ultralisk.
Yeah, that's a hell of a lot, especially with Queens that will have transfuse again in a moment. And really, Hyun right now, all he has to do is regroup and then A move. Unfortunately, Shuttle down to 79 supply.
Yeah, this is looking really grave. We got another drop coming into the main, but there's actually an Ultralisk here, and an Ultralisk will clean this up single-handedly.
Yep. He's just chilling. The Widowmines are doing a fantastic job this game. Like, Shuttle has been so effective with them, but they're just not enough at this point.
I also can't believe that Shuttle is still in this game. It's not the fact that it's not like he's sitting here floating command centers being a total loser. He's actually still in this game, 100%. But these Ultralisks from Hyun, if he would just kind of mass up, again, neither player really with any supply at this point. If he would just mass up and go, he'd win this game, no question about it. But these drops, these constant little hit and runs, exactly what Shuttle needs to be doing.
Very nice. That was 3 fungals and 2 infested deaths just to clean that up. I mean, it's a small victory, but it's something. And, I mean, it's silly that Hyun has had to make 11 infestors just to be able to finish Shuttle off, who is it hasn't been above 80 supply for a long time. I mean,
trying so
that's just
hard.
a credit to how well Shuttle is playing.
But man, Ultra's finally gonna make that push. They're gonna soak so many of this Widowmine's fungal hold the Marines in place. And these medevacs are not gonna matter at this point. This base goes down and that's it. It's gonna be GG. Actually, no, he finally took the top right. I didn't even see that. We've been so focused on this left corner of the map. Oh my god, the infested Terrans.
Found out about it though. He's rallying stuff across it, and this bio is still somehow alive, killing infest.
There's no energy to fungal actually. Last fungal right there was the last one. And I can't believe Shuttle is still in this guy's mental game. Finally, GG's, and that's it.
Wow, what a marathon game for Shuttle. He played that so well, but Hyun in the end just a little bit too strong for him.
If Shuttle wasn't panicking, he's not human. But guys,